Oh yeah, car culture versus commute culture, totally different thing. In fact, I recall, I've said this a couple times. I worked in New York for 2 months once,
Hmm.
and loved it. I'm absolutely, it was my first real exposure to the city. I'd been there before, but very briefly. So to visit it versus to live there for 2 months is a whole different experience. And I just loved that. That was one of the aspects I loved about being there was the fact that it's just instant. You see it instantly. You look around and it's like there's so much fewer obese people. So
Yeah.
much. I mean, the percentage is insanely different. Like in fact, when you see somebody that's really large, it kind of shocks you because you
Yeah, because you're part of you's like, what do you pay for taxis everywhere?
right. And there's something that you wouldn't really anticipate unless at least I wouldn't. I didn't anticipate it. Is there's a competitive aspect to simply walking around in New
Oh yeah,
York. I mean,
yeah.
it's like people
You
like
wanna
to.
win.
You do. I mean, people. It's like you're racing everyone all the time for everything, and it's just interesting, and just being in the city. It's just so conducive to walking. I think I told you this story about I was in one another time I was in New York. I used to go every January for this real estate conference that I used to speak at every year, and there several times I was there. They had record or near record snowfalls just randomly, and this one time I was there, I think they had something like 32 inches or 24 inches of snow. I was one of the
That
last.
sounds.
I was one of the
Oh no.
last flights that was allowed to land on, I believe it was like a Tuesday night. The conference was from like Wednesday through Friday or Tuesday through Friday, something like that. And so basically, the conference almost didn't even go on because so many people weren't able to get there. Like half the people were there. So anyway, I took advantage of that, and I went out one day, and I just walked, and
Mhm.
I had no plan, and I
Yeah.
walked 12.9 miles, and it was just one of the most memorable days of my life, just because of the adventure of that.